Will John Mayer and PRS ever make a Sunburst Silver Sky? This is something that I see come up in the comments on different videos whenever I talk about different finishes for the Silver Sky that we see John proto-testing live, for example. I see comments like, oh, I'm holding out on buying one until we get a Sunburst model. And I thought I'd make a video kind of talking about this because John has actually pretty directly talked about the chances of there ever being a Sunburst finish on a PRS Silver Sky. And the other day I made a video about why John Mayer plays PRS guitars, and in the long distance interview Paul Reed Smith did with John Mayer back in 2020, John also talks about that in that interview. So I thought, why not actually kind of highlight this and shed a little bit of light in case some people maybe don't know. Like, John's actually talked about this, and unfortunately, the chances are essentially zero.
Do you want a tobacco Sunburst Silver Sky?
No, I don't want a tobacco Sunburst Silver Sky.
What colors are historical that you want?
I'm sorry?
What colors are historical that you want?
That's a great question. I love the surf colors. I love sonic blue, surf green, coral pink, shoreline gold. I love those. I love those. You know, when we were digging into Silver Sky, part of it for me was like, what's coming with it into the future and what's not, and what are things that people just keep doing because, well, that's the way we've done it.
Hold on a second. We're going to repeat that answer.
Can't let anyone know Paul has a dog.
No. It's me.
You know, I've said it before in an interview, I think, but what I like to do, or what I liked to do, and I want to keep doing it, is go, okay, what are the things that a company is beholden to because that's the way they've always done it? And what are the things I can take from it and go, well, here are the things I love about the guitar and I want to move it forward. And I've said before that there's nothing else in the world that is Sunburst anymore. Sunburst, you would see a chest of drawers that were Sunburst. You would see an old Zenith standalone stand-up radio that was Sunburst. So I look at it and I go, if I want to go futuristic, not futuristic, but modern, well, where else is there a Sunburst thing? And you could also say the same thing for tortoiseshell, but you do see tortoiseshell sunglasses, glasses. You still see combs. You know, there are tortoiseshell things. The idea of there being something Sunburst still, just because that's what we've been seeing, right? So guitars mirrored the paint colors and finishes of the day, right? We all know that they were using paint colors that DuPont was making for the automotive industry. Well, where else are there cool paint colors? Well, what about the laptop I'm on right now? Space gray. Well, I relate to that more than I relate to something that's Sunburst. What about Tesla colors? What about, you know, I'm starting to see car colors that are using this sort of like inserting gray into colors. Have you been seeing this? You'll be on the road and you'll see, because you're a color expert. People don't understand you're a color expert. You'll see like a Jeep or something, and it'll have that blue, but then like 30% gray into it now. So everything has this slightly earthy tone to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and here's another piece of it. I think Sunbursts were invented on guitars to cover up glue joints with the binding and to cover up stain problems and to cover up sanding scratches on the side of the guitar. And I think it all started to cover stuff up, which is a whole other thing.
That's interesting. Do you make you make a Sunburst?
Oh God, we sell so many Sunbursts.
Yeah.
We got a new thing, John, where they're taking and I can't even really talk about it, but they're staining bursts with a rag, and they're not doing it with a spray gun. And they just figured out a way to combine it. It's the most beautiful thing. It's just, Bev, we should send him a picture of that. It's unbelievable what I saw the other day.
For the record, the Super Eagle is technically a burst.
Yeah, right.
But it is a super, it's not a three-tone black, orange, yellow.
Microbursts. I like.
Now, to me, this makes total sense because of what the concept for the Silver Sky is. It's modernizing essentially a Strat, right? Let's be honest. And John, with the initial guitars that they designed, the initial 4 finishes, they were all Tesla colors, which is very much a nod to how they did things in the past, of where they took classic car colors and then made them into actual guitar colors, the same paint colors they just used on guitars. John just did that in modern times with the Tesla colors, and then they started to do other things like the faded black tea satin, even though I really believe it was designed based off of one of John's Visvim t-shirts. It also is kind of like that darker space gray apple color a little bit. It's got a little bit of that kind of nod to it as well almost. So you can see that all of the colors that they're choosing for the most part are exceptionally modern. I think maybe one of the ones that's not totally modern is Roxy Pink. That kind of has more of that, you know, it's not quite shell pink, but it's certainly in that vein. And John did mention, you know, he loves the surf colors quite a lot, like Sonic Blue, Surf Green. So I'd love to see a Silver Sky done in Sonic Blue. I think that would be so insanely cool. Now, what is also really cool is the olive brownish Silver Sky that we've seen John playing live recently in 2025. He actually sent something into PRS to actually take the inspiration for and just transfer the color of whatever object it was. We don't know, but there was an object John sent in that then he had them design that color based on. So again, taking something, assuming decently modern or some piece of technology maybe, who knows, sent it in and was like, this color is exactly what I want on my next Silver Sky, and that's what they're doing. So there are things like that that come into the thought process here for what finishes they actually produce. Now, there is some companies out there you can see that take the Silver Sky and do relic jobs, but there's some other ones that have done in like a Sunburst, and they actually do like, I think, a really kind of in a classy way that makes it look good. I'll throw up some shots for you guys. That I think looks good. That, you know, okay, with the Torque Guard, kind of like John's 64, I kind of think that works, to be honest. I think it looks really cool. And then years ago as well, there was someone who did a Fiesta Red Silver Sky and did just a very light relic work. I'll try and find it for you guys as well. And that I thought, I was like, okay, again, very tasteful. It looked really, really good. So things like that are where I see it. And I'm like, okay, you know, I do see how it can work in certain contexts, and there are others, you know, made with the best intentions and a cool idea, but it just, when I at least see something like that, I'm just like, yeah, like, that does not look good at all, at least in, you know, one guy's opinion. So I think if you're waiting to get a Silver Sky in kind of a more vintagey style of finish, even the surf colors, which sound like there's a lot higher of a chance of getting made over like a Sunburst, I think you're going to be waiting probably a very long time, or perhaps forever in the case of the Sunburst at least. I think that, you know, the modern colors look absolutely fantastic that they've been choosing for the Silver Sky. Faded Black Tea Satin is phenomenal. The new brownish olive one, which I'd be willing to really heavily bet that we will see become a production finish, is phenomenal. Mock Sand is kind of classic at this point. It's one of the best colors I've ever done. And even the Platinum Spark with the SE Silver Sky, one of the best Silver Sky finishes I think ever, that Sweetwater exclusive finish. Oh, they knocked it out of the park. It looks absolutely phenomenal. So I think there are really great finishes that you can get that are with, you really speak to the ethos of the Silver Sky. And then if you have like a Strat, then you kind of have that kind of more classic 60s, 50s style of thing with that aesthetic to go along with that design that's true to the past. And it's so funny, people talk about the guitar and how it's one of the very few things that are out there that people still buy new today, essentially, or want exactly how it was made in like 59, 60. It's really crazy, but it's kind of a cool thing about the guitar at the same time that these designs were done so well from the get-go, and they've become classic for a very, very good reason. And the Silver Sky is just one example of the modernization of that thing. So don't hold your breath for a Sunburst Silver Sky. This isn't new information, especially to, I'm sure, a lot of you, but it's something I saw in the comments a little bit recently, and then having made that video about John and why he plays PRS guitars, quoting a little bit from this interview in a different video, I was like, oh, they actually talked about that in this one as well. And then it kind of made me think, this could be just a cool video because I've never actually talked about it, and could maybe just re-bring into light the whole fact that I really don't think we're ever going to get it. So hope you guys enjoyed this kind of shorter video. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next video. As well, if there are any other topics you want to see me discuss like this, let me know down in the comments below. I'm kind of looking for video topics at this point in time. Well, there's nothing really going on. John's festival tour is done, so if you guys have any other videos you want to see me do and kind of things you want to see me talk about, let me know. I can probably make it happen. Take care, guys. See you on the next video.
Anyway, go ahead and click the subscribe button if you like what you see.